Well, it's like the second day of spring, and I really think Philatunksy Phil lied to us. Hey, it's Tracy Brinkman. Welcome to another episode of Your Success at Last Tips to Improve Performance podcast. Like I said, I'm Tracy Brinkman. I'm your host, coming to you from across the ether of the internet into your ears, into your mind, and hopefully into your heart as I share with you some tips and techniques to help you reach your success at last. So, Tracy, what are we going to be talking about today? I know, that's what you're asking, right? Well, I'm glad you asked, actually. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, it's really okay to talk to yourself. Heck, I'll even go so far as say it's okay to argue with yourself. But, this is a big but, and I'm not talking about the ones in shorts. But, should you lose the argument, well, then perhaps there's some issues that need to be dealt with. Just kidding. Anyway, I want to chat with you today about how to get from no to now. You see, one of the single most influential factors in your personal, in your professional, your financial, and your relationship success is going to be your beliefs. Your beliefs about yourself, your beliefs about your abilities. I think Napoleon Hill said it so well, gosh, how many years ago? He said it so well long before I even knew about what they call the law of belief. And what he said was, whatever you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. See, your reality today is really, it's populated with all those things that you've believed in the past. Your reality of tomorrow is going to be further populated with all the things that you conceive and believe today, and of course beyond today. See, we can go far, a lot of people, myself included, go so far as to block out information that is contrary to our beliefs. And it doesn't matter whether that information is true or false. You can actually block out contrary information that's contrary to your beliefs, and most people do that. Successful people consistently believe that they will succeed, period. Even if all the facts in their world is contrary to that belief, they consistently believe that they will succeed. End of story. They don't spend their time considering, entertaining, pondering, or even fathoming all the ways that they could possibly fail. Instead, they focus their beliefs on their success and all the ways in which they can make it there, that they can attain it. See, you're going to spend the bulk of your time, you will spend the bulk of your time acting in a manner consistent with your internal beliefs. It's just how we're made. It's how the mind works. What your beliefs are, they kind of direct you in that way. So you're going to spend almost all of your time acting in a way that's consistent with those beliefs. So I would highly recommend that if you're going to be acting in a way that's consistent with your internal beliefs, that you foster a very important belief system that let's call it prosperity perception. You see, you've heard the phrase, perception is reality. You've all heard that, right? Well, prosperity perception is where you absolutely believe that you're going to achieve your personal, your professional, your financial, your relation goals, and put simply, you're going to reach your level of prosperity. See, this prosperous belief in yourself will cause you to become more aware, more keenly astute, more aware of the knowledge and the opportunities that the world offers around you, that it'll help you bring your goals into reality far faster than if you had missed those clues or cues. See, this brings out what you could call an outwardly subtle but all too important difference between positive thinking and positive knowing. See, well, positive thinking generally is all about wishing or hoping. Positive knowing is where you absolutely believe that no matter what, you're going to be successful, that nothing's going to stop you. There's your goal over there and there's you over here. No matter what's between you and that goal, you're going to bust through it, you're going to go around it, you're going to climb over it, you're going to dig under it. You know you're going to get there. Now, let's be honest. You realize that you're going to have to work for it. It's not just going to be handed to you, but you know that you will be successful. Another key related to your beliefs is willpower. And many have learned that willpower is essential to any any success, whether that success is small or large, whether it's just getting an extra $1,000 a month, whether it's building a corporation. Willpower is based on confidence, conviction, and the faith that you can realize your dreams. See, it comes back to those beliefs again. It is based on your positively knowing that you have the ability to triumph over all those obstacles to reach your goals, your dreams, and your desires. See, so as I know I'm throwing this at you kind of fast, but are you starting to see the difference between positive knowing over just positive thinking? See, I'm not talking about just blah, blah, blah. I'm good. I'm great. I will do this and I will do that. Those types of affirmations. Well, I mean, let's be honest. They have their place and I use them. What I'm talking about here is really cultivating a willpower that is a belief rooted in action. Cultivating a willpower that's belief rooted in action. See, this brings us to the way of strengthening your willpower, and that is with persistence, or really persistent action. I want you, and you want yourself, to work on your goals daily, every single day. No matter how small a step you take, do something towards your goal each and every day. Don't even take the weekend off. I mean, even if one of those days that your action that you take is reviewing your goal. Here's what I've done so far. Oh my goodness, here's where I stumbled, here's where I tripped, here's where I fell, here's what I can do next. There, you've taken the next step. Keep the momentum going. See, this is going to create an unstoppable belief in your ability to get it done. And your willpower, it's going to grow right along with it. See, you can also build your power through inspiration, right? Read biographies of other successful people. Hear how they did it, what things they went through, what obstacles they overcame, how did they overcome them, where did they get their ideas, what tips and techniques did they use in their life. Can you use any of those? Can you adapt them to yourself? What do they do that you can learn from? See, I love these stories. I have 2 bookcases full of books of these types and other learning opportunities, ranging from biographies to computer to self-help to public speaking. But nowadays, I really like to get these personal stories on audio, so I can turn what's otherwise inactive time into learning time. Times like when I'm driving to work, taking my daughter to cheer. I mean, just here the past couple of weeks, we've gone to Dallas, we've gone to Orlando, and we've made a trip up to Rhode Island. Turning that kind of long, and I drove to each and every one of those. The trip to Dallas was 22 hours one way. The trip to Rhode Island was only 5. The trip to Orlando was I think it was 14 hours. One way, turning that kind of inactive, normally unproductive time into motivation and inspiration time and idea generation. See, the more information you can take into your mind, consistent with the success that you desire and deserve, the more likely it is that you'll be able to develop that willpower to push you through your obstacles, to push you through your barriers and difficulties that you will experience. And let's be honest, you're going to experience them. Don't fool yourself in thinking that you won't. Because seriously, if there were no obstacles between you and your goal, you'd be there already. A saying I like to use is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Which is why it's your goal. It's motivating you. It's inspiring you. Let it do that. Now, I want to interrupt this program for a message from our sponsor. Our sponsor today is reality. As much as I would like to say that everyone is going to be a success, I can't. I'd be lying if I did. So, let's be honest, if anyone else tells you that everyone is going to be a success, they're going to be lying too. You see, is because success is rare. I know we see it everywhere, but we think about the billions of people that are out there and the few true huge success stories we hear about, the ratio is small. For example, statistically speaking, only about 5% of us will achieve financial independence, which is only about 1 person in 100. While only about 1 person in 100 becomes wealthy, wealthy could be different standards for different folks. I mean, only about 1 in 100 become wealthy over the course of his or her lifetime. Total that all up. The odds are 19-1. Now let's be clear. Is it possible for everyone to be successful? Yes. 100% yes. However, not everyone will be successful. Why? Well, the reasons are numerous if you think about it. Many won't start. Heck, most won't start. Others will only take one step. Shoot, most will set a goal and never even take one step. I'll never figure that one out. But anyway, well, that's a whole other topic for a different podcast. Some will start, then they'll stop when they reach the first obstacle. Don't let that be you. Others will stop just short of reaching their dream. I can't tell you how many people I've sat down and talked to and coached or listened to at events where they said, yeah, I was working on my goal and I got to here and I stopped. And I'm like, are you crazy? Right around the corner was your goal. And sometimes I knew it for a fact. Other times I was probably just guessing. I'm just going to be honest as who I am. So anyway, the only way that you're going to be achieving your goals is to get really serious. Even if your goal is to be a comedian, you got to get serious about achieving it, right? To succeed in areas that you dream of today, you got to get serious. You got to get busy, and you must get going. For if you don't at least get going, you're never going to get there. We've all heard the saying 1,000 times. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with, that's right, the first step. A journey to your goal and to your happiness and to your fulfillment begins with the first step. There's a gentleman, Scott Smith, Motivation to Move. He says, stand up, take a step, and repeat. There it is, right there. You can leave now. No, don't go. So what I want you to do is sit down and resolve to achieve today, right? Then take control of your actions and your thoughts into the directions of those goals. Take control of your actions, take control of your thoughts, and guide them both towards the directions of those goals that you're starting now. Starting right this minute. As soon as this podcast is over, say, man, he's right. I'm going to do something. I'm going to write down my goals. I'm going to figure out the next step, and I'm going to take that next step. You see, this self-control and this self-discipline, they're vital for anyone who wants to achieve everything their heart desires. I originally found that control over my thoughts was about the hardest exercise in self-mastery I had ever imagined. However, today I'm quite a bit luckier in that area. Most of the people that know me say I'm about the most positive thinking and positive knowing person within their circle of friends. So I know from experience that this exercise I want you to go through is not only important, it's possible. I've done it. Many others have done it as well, and so can you. So, where do you start? Well, let's start small. Focus yourself over the next 24 hours to talk and think about only what you desire. That's it. Just what you want. Nothing else. Do not talk or think about anything you do not want for 24 hours. Don't talk about the things that are going to get in your way. Talk about how you're going to get them done. If you can do it for 24 hours, then you can do it for 36, for 48, for 96 and more. It's a hard thing to do, but with practice, you can reach the point where you're thinking about your goals and your desires for the majority of your waking hours. This one shift from positive thinking into that positive knowing is going to cause a huge change in your whole life, and it's all going to be for the better. Okay, so let's give you some exercises here. Take some action. So here are some 2 things that you can do to build your belief system and build that belief system consistent with the success you desire. So, like I just mentioned, set a goal to think and talk about. Right? I want you to set that goal. Write it down. Write it down in some clear detail. Set a goal to think and talk about just those things, nothing else. All the things that you want about that have to do with that goal for the next 24 hours. Well, like I said earlier, this may be one of the hardest things you will ever do. It can begin to change your entire future by keeping your mind and your actions focused on what you want and away from the things you don't want. You see, like Napoleon Hill said, what you conceive and believe you can achieve, if you keep conceiving poverty, want, just hunger, despair, as you keep conceiving those things, you're going to keep achieving them. Try the flip side for once. Make it happen. All right, Number 2, repeat to yourself at least 3 times a day. I would say a whole lot more, 12, 24, right? Get up in the morning, when you go to lunch, and right before you go to bed at minimum. But as often as you can, the thoughts that are in harmony with your dreams, right? The thoughts that are in harmony with your dreams, your desires, and your goals that you have for yourself. Repeating it often, over and over and over. That installs a new belief that you can and will achieve what it is you desire. That this belief will become a motivation, a cause for you to take action. The action that you need to realize your dreams and goals. Because if you just keep saying the words and don't take any action, nothing's going to happen. I'm sorry. See, this repeating it yourself, this is where I do believe in affirmations, and I also call them reflections. They come into play here. Now, if you're trouble coming up with some of these, because a lot of folks who knew this have a hard time coming up with affirmations. I just don't think that way. So if you're having trouble coming up with these affirmations, you can search my site, www.yoursuccessatlast.com, and I post some in there periodically to help folks out. You can use them to spark your creativity, to create your own, modify them and tweak them as you see fit, or use them just as they're written. But repeat them to yourself 3 or 4 times a day, and there's usually a list of about 10 of them. You don't have to use them all. Use the ones that help you. But just sit down and think, what is it I need to believe to reach my dreams? And then go after it. See, I know that you can and will reach your dreams, desires, and goals. I just went from positive thinking to positive knowing. Think successfully. Take action. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.